Hello, thank you for joining me. I've got something today that I hope will really help keep everyone safe. It's a beautiful day out today. It's late April. It's really beautiful weather. I've been out doing some yard work, got my yard trimmed up, and it's time now to take care of this little wood pile I've got here. But if you live in Texas or anywhere there's snakes, that's a really good place for a snake to hang out. That sat there all winter long. I just got lazy and did not remove it, so it's kind of my fault. So this is a great draw for snakes, especially copperheads. Copperheads love little wood piles like this. You would think I've mowed, I've trimmed around here, I've done all kind of stuff. You would think I'd disturb any snake in the area to be gone. But actually, copperheads love to remain hidden as best as possible. So this would be a good place for him to crawl into, hang out until tonight, and he can kind of do his thing. So I'm going to show you what to do to go through here.
Hello, this is Mark Powell, creator of TexasSnakeID.com and What Kind of Snake Is This North Texas? Welcome to my channel.
So if you have a wood pile, this would be the easiest way to go through a wood pile. I would highly recommend wearing boots, but if you don't have boots, like I've got shoes on, most people have shoes, that's fine. Certainly wouldn't want to do this barefoot or with flip-flops on, or any kind of open-toed shoes. Also, gloves would be nice, but that's not practical. A lot of people don't use gloves when they're out doing little jobs like this. So I will show you what to do. You need to get a rake. Having a rake, like so, is the easiest thing to do here. Now, to be honest with you, I know for sure that there's actually a copperhead already in this wood pile. I put it in here earlier. That way I can show you what happens if you run across a snake, what to do. So let's take a look. First of all, you want to stay away from the wood pile a little bit. Get too close to the wood pile might let a snake strike at you. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Just basically simply move things out of the way while you're looking. Now, if there is a snake in this area, most likely they're going to keep going back to the back area. So you might see movement as they're moving back in there, and they want to try to get away from you. So let's continue. Simply all we're doing is just using the rake to remove some of this top wood off of here. And as of right now, I don't see it. It's completely hidden to me. I have no idea where he's at. Looking on this side. Probably way back in there. Trying to remain hidden. But we're going to assume we don't know he's there, if he's there or not. So we're going to keep moving and keep looking. It's a pretty simple project, pretty straightforward. Just move the wood out of the way. Now, I've had this copperhead for a while, but I have not worked with it. So this guy really kind of natural. Oh, there he is. I see him moving, and he's trying to go back in there as far as he can. Yep, he is. Tucked himself in there. Perfect. So let's dig him out. So at this point, once you see a copperhead, you do have a couple options. One thing you do is just leave. You don't have to stand here, and you don't have to keep doing this. Leave, come back later, and make sure you left. But then you have to redo all this area too, because you could have crawled in here, or another one could have came in. So let's assume that we're going to try to remove him from the area, or we haven't seen him yet. And we're still, I mean, look, I've disturbed all this. Haven't seen a copperhead yet, have I? Nothing. So this is what they kind of do. They like to go and keep hiding. Oh, look at that. Now, one of the last pieces I flipped over, boom, there's our copperhead. Absolutely beautiful animal. I love copperheads, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to see once you move all the stuff out of the way. I'm perfectly safe where I'm at. Copperheads are not known to chase people. They do get agitated, and they will take off in any direction just to get away from you, and it might be towards you. So now what do we do? You've got this copperhead. It's a venomous snake. I'm not going to even show you. I'm fairly close to it, and just disturbed it. Now he's going to try to stay still. He's hoping I haven't seen him yet. So if I don't see him, maybe I'll move off, and later on he can leave. So we've got options. We can, number one, leave him alone, leave the area, come back later whenever he's moved off. Everything's great. Number two, we can actually get a water hose. We can spray him with a water hose. But what you need to keep in mind is when a snake turns to leave, they make themselves vulnerable. So when they leave, their tail is coming closer to you than their head. Their head's what they defend themselves with. So they're not really going to want to leave the area like that. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to back up. So if you're not a threat anymore, you're spraying with a garden hose and you're back up, maybe even out of view, then he goes, okay, it's safe for me to turn my back and leave, and he'll leave. You've done a couple good things with doing that. By spraying them, they know now that you know they're there and this is a dangerous situation. Most animals realize that they don't want to be in a dangerous situation and they don't want to go back to a dangerous situation. So So many times what they'll do is simply leave and not want to come back to that area. So you've actually got a copperhead that'll be in the area using up resources. So another copperhead another copperhead will be harder for them to move into because there's one area there using the resources. And you got one that doesn't want to come around where your house area because he's scared of you. So that's not a bad thing to do at all. And that's kind of what I recommend a lot of times. But now you know you have one copperhead in the area, so now you know to be careful. If you were to kill this copperhead or even remove it, now you get a little false sense of security. Sometimes you think, well, since I've got this copperhead out of the area, I don't have any more copperheads to worry about. But trust me, if you have one copperhead, you probably have a lot of copperheads. So having an extra one around is really not going to make any difference to your safety at all. Now you know it actually be a little safer because now you know there's a copperhead around. You're a little more careful where you put your hands. So that's another thing. So you wouldn't want to pick up these pieces of wood like that. If I'd reached down in there and picked that piece of wood up, there's a good chance he would have bit me because he would have saw my hot hands coming towards him and knowing I was a threat and defended himself. So we don't want to do that. So there's the other thing we can do. We can remove the copperhead up from the area. Since he's sitting right there, he feels secure where he's at. I haven't really hurt him or disturbed him. He's probably going to sit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a garbage can and come back and move him. If he's gone when I come back, that's all right. But we got to assume that he could be back in this pile. So now we got to remove this pile and be careful again. So hang on one second. Let me go get the garbage can. Now we got to figure out where to put the garbage can. These guys actually like to go into areas that are dark. So he might go into the garbage can on his own. So what we could do is we can lay the garbage can down near him and see what happens. Let's move a couple of these things out of the way before we do so. Now watch what he does. Watch what the copperhead does when I'm in here messing around really close to him. He jerked a little bit there, but as you can see, he's not doing a whole lot. He's hoping I haven't seen him. See what I mean? I can do all kind of stuff right around him. Doesn't even move. So this kind of makes him a little bit dangerous too. Because if I'm thinking I've cleared this area out now and I didn't see him, there's a chance I could reach down for some leaf litter he might be hiding under, things like that. So you gotta be very careful and move everything out of your way that anything could possibly be hiding under. Small copperheads are only about this long. They curl up about that big around. So you can imagine even a leaf, the copperhead could be hiding underneath down here. So you need to be very, very careful. So let's see what we can do. Let's put this garbage can down here. Now, I don't know if the camera saw that, but he actually struck at the garbage can a couple times because something big came at him and dropped down. And that garbage can was in the sun a little bit too. So look at that. He went into the dark hole. Now simply pick it up and you've got a copperhead secured. This is way too tall for him to get out of. So now what we need to do is take and put something heavy on top of it. And you got options now. So your options for this copperhead would be to relocate it, go a little ways away, find an area that's similar to where your house is at and habitat. Normally a creek bed works really good that's overgrown, like a lot of oak trees and things like that. It's a good place to release them at. Or you could call somebody like me. Now, I know people all across the country, and there's lots of different people that will happily come out and remove this copperhead and put it into a safe space. So I will put in the links in the comments to the video. I will put a link in there to a Facebook group called What Kind of Snake Is This North Texas. If you post a photo there and request some help, we would be happy to try to find someone in your area to relocate him, even if you're not in North Texas. Or we can refer to a different group that might be in your area to help you out. So here he is in the bottom of the bucket. Beautiful animal. As you see, he did not chase me. Now I do know a smell in here. I do notice a smell. There's a kind of pungent smell. That is the musk of the broad-banded copperhead. All copperheads will musk, even cottonmouths will too. The musk, some people have tried to say it smells like cucumbers, but that smells nothing like cucumbers at all. So if you're smelling cucumbers, I don't know what your cucumbers normally smell like, but if your cucumbers smell like what this copperhead smells like, I would certainly not eat that, whatever that is you think is a cucumber. So I'm going to put him actually back down on the ground, and we're going to see how he acts, because that was a little bit easy, right? I mean, that seems a little bit fake, almost made up. And the truth of the matter is, it isn't always that easy. Sometimes these guys are squirmy, they want to take off, they don't want to go into the container you want to go into. That's reality. So let's put this guy back out and see how it acts, what it does. See if it's going to come attack me now, because now it knows I'm here. I just messed with it. It's musking everywhere, it stinks. Let's see what he's going to do. See if he's actually going to be mad at me in any way. And we'll show you how you can actually use a rake as a hook to pick him up and put him in something safely. So let's do this. Let's put him back over here. And I'm doing it safely. There he is. Okay. There he is. This is a good sized copperhead. See if he will strike at me. There's some piece of dirt in his mouth in the trash can. That's no big deal. See how he flattened out? He's making himself look as big as possible. And is he chasing me? No. That is certainly not chasing. He's wanting to get away as fast as he can. He is finding any little hole to get into. So this is typical behavior. So now you can see that copperhead is going to be a little harder to get into that container than he was before. So we're going to bring this back a little closer. Just watch him now. He's going to try to get away. Oh, look at him. He is just wound up. It's very typical. Yep, so he got back into the thing. That's exactly what I would expect him to do. So you're going, dang it, he got away. Well, he didn't get to get away. He's not going anywhere. He's going to go and hide. Well, you just got to do the same thing. You got a red-shouldered hawk flying around. They're breeding in the area. I don't want him seeing the copperhead and swooping down to eat it, because they will eat copperheads. A lot of birds of prey will eat copperheads. That's a nice food source for them. That's another good thing about snakes, is they provide food for other animals. Like this, like that red-shouldered hawk that just flew over. You can probably hear him in the background screaming at me. Let's see, he's got to go down through. It's like, where'd he go? That little big copperhead, he's disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared. He did. Okay, where did he go? Oh, there he is, see? He blended in well. I actually didn't even notice him there. He's right there. If you're having a hard time seeing on the camera, that's pretty cool, isn't it? He just blended right in. These guys are awesome. So you can use your carefully. See, he doesn't want to hook. Usually about a third of the way up the body, quarter or third of the way is where you can actually pick them up. And you put him right in the bucket. Shows you how to do it. Now, am I saying that doing that is a good idea? Well, maybe not. Can I say it's perfectly safe? No, it's not. You got close enough to the animal that if you weren't paying attention, you could get bit. So I would recommend, if you feel comfortable doing this, great. Do it at your own risk. I show you how I do it. Lots of different ways to do it. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can either let it go somewhere else, just let it cruise away, or contact us and we can try to help you relocate this guy. These are really wonderful animals. And I don't know if you heard it for a second ago, but he's actually rattling his tail, shaking his tail on the bottom of there. And the leaf litter, I could hear it rattling. A lot of snakes will rattle or shake their tail at you whenever, not really rattle, because a rattle has no rattle on it, but they will shake their tail when they're nervous. So little rat snakes and all kind of venomous and non-venomous snakes will actually get nervous and shake the tail back and forth a lot. That's just a nervous behavior. So if you see a snake doing that, especially a small snake or something, don't automatically assume that it's a rattlesnake. It doesn't mean it is. So I hope you enjoyed what I've shown you, and if you would, please like and subscribe.